Hi Scorpio, this is your 2017 forecast with astrologykiki. We're going to start off talking about Jupiter, and Jupiter is the planet of luck and expansion. And really, the big news for you this year is that it's going to move out of your 12th house and into your first house. But that won't happen until October. And um, the while it's been in your 12th house, you may have seen some increased expenditures, um, possibly some long distance travel, but it really it makes a 12 pretty much a 12-year cycle, and then it comes back around to its first house, which is really the big coming out. Here I am. The focus will be on you, and you will be able to expand your appearance. You may, once it heads into the first house in October, you will have the potential for more possibilities, more money, go after your goals and dreams, and be much more open with it. So that's a great thing. We're going to head into a period where it's really going to brighten things up for you. You'll be more positive and probably a bit more confident about yourself once it hits in that first house. Now this year, Saturn is also going to be moving houses, and it is going to go from your second house into your third house. And Saturn is the planet of restriction. It likes to teach you lessons. It can be a rather harsh planet, but really it's there to make you better prepared for moving forward. It wants to teach you a lesson so that once you're out of that transit, you are now more organized or more stable in that area. So, in my opinion, it's a bit of a good thing that it's moving out of your second and into your third. Third tends to be a little bit of an easier place for Saturn than second does. Your second house is the house of earned income and finances. So during this time, what it's really trying to teach you is how to budget, how to prioritize. You may see a lack of money. And the lesson to be learned is how to better manage your wealth, maybe your savings, maybe your earned income. And it is quite harsh while it's in there, but once it passes into the third house, you will be done with that transit for a very long time, and you will have learned the lessons that are going to make you better prepared for moving forward. So, having said that, it's moving out. In December, it's going to move into your third house. And your challenges then will be things having to do with communication. So if you may not be as eloquent as you should be, and you will need to work on it, but you will probably have the drive to work on getting your message across in a more eloquent way, and in a way that's going to be better received by the people that you're speaking to or writing to. You could have some strained relationships with siblings during that time. Again, this is a transit that's going to take place more, it comes in the end of 2017, so it's going to move into 2018. You'll see this a lot more in 2018. But you could have strained relationships with community, neighbors, siblings during that time, and this will really force you to work on those issues. You could have issues with travel, cars, trains, planes, and again, this transit is something that is teaching you a lesson, and moving forward you'll be better prepared to deal. Now, Your North Node is also transiting from your first into your 12th house. And your North Node is really what you need to do, think, or participate in order to make you feel like you're personally growing, personally successful. And so your focus for that has been on your, and through till May of 2017 will be on your image, on yourself, on your how you present yourself, on maybe you need to get out there more in order to feel personally successful. Um, and just sort of be a little bit more outgoing. And as of May, it's going to transit into your 12th house. And so during that time, that focus may change a little bit. What makes you feel good and productive and successful may become a little bit more inward. So you may go partake in more spiritual activities or yoga, meditation, more centering type of activities will make you feel better about yourself. Um, there are also some eclipses this year in February and August, and during eclipses we tend to see change. Now these are could vary depending on your birth chart and what degrees are affecting you. You may see a great effect from these, and you may not see a great effect from these. And you can always find out exactly how you're impacted by the eclipses if you go to my website, askiki.com. But if you are affected, the area that this series of eclipses is going through is really going to affect your 4th and your 10th houses. So your 4th house is home and family, property, and your 10th house is career and awards and recognition. So you may see some significant changes with regards to your home, with regards to your career. Maybe a new position might cause you to upgrade your home, downsize your home, move, relocate. But you're going to see some changes in those two areas, home and family, as well as career, if you are affected by these eclipses. Another big thing that's happening in 2017 is a trine. Now, this is a recurring trine, and it is something that is extremely rare, although it's going to happen 3 times within a year. These are 2 planets that move very slowly, and this is an incredibly rare aspect. And this is between Uranus and Saturn. And they're both pretty opposite planets in the sense that Uranus is very unstable and Saturn is very stabilizing. So some pretty interesting dynamics going on there with these big planets. But the trine is a very positive aspect, and it will take place over 3 different periods. One is at the end of 2016 in December, and then the other is in the middle of May, and the other is towards the middle of November. And you're going to see the areas that those are in for you. For Scorpio, are your 2nd and your 6th houses. So your 2nd is earned income, possessions, finances, and your 6th house is your work environment, daily tasks, health, like your personal health. So you could see maybe a boost in finances through your work or your work environment. Some very positive things going on there. Just a very cohesive, maybe if you own a business, your employees are very harmonious and working really well together during these transits. But whatever it is, you may see a thread going through between the end of December, the middle of May, and then the middle of November, where there could be a link there between your earned income and your work environment, or maybe your health could have something to do with some kind of exercise routine, or maybe even going to the doctor. Some kind of link there that is the trine is a very positive aspect. So you may see a lot of productivity around those times. Maybe um, you know you're it's a it, the sixth house tends to be like daily obligations. You're ticking off the list, making sure everything gets done. So you may see a highly productive and like a prosperous time then, and that will be December of 2016, middle of May, and then November. Those are coming to you. So you have some very interesting changes. The second half of the year, it looks like, things are going to get a little bit better for you. Jupiter will be going into a great house for you, and Saturn will be moving out of a not so great place for it to be into a little bit more of a neutral area. So you may find that the second half is a little bit easier than the first half. Of course, Saturn doesn't move until the very end of the year, but you have some very positive things coming up, and I hope you have a great 2017.